Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Complexity up against Pain Gaming. It's game number 2, which will be played on the Brazilian server. And I just want to go ahead and throw this out here. The South American teams are constantly playing on US East. And yes, they're used to playing on US East, but they do have a ping disadvantage there, and it does make a difference. So for the best of 3 series, we've said for the second game, if one team would rather play on another server, they can name that server, as long as it's within reason. I mean, we're not going to, like, say, let's go play South Africa, you know?
Why not?
Why not, yeah. So, honestly, the tables have turned for game number 2. And it's going back to US East game number 3. If you can beat them, you can beat them anywhere. That's the way I look at it. I mean, there's a difference, yes, but it's not so much of a difference that it's going to ruin the game. Especially when these players have played with this kind of ping all the time. And it's only fair to balance it out. Right, Drag and Drop?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I mean, if you're really concerned about the pings, I mean, looking at the console right now, most complexity has about 200 to 50. I haven't actually checked earlier on US East what Pain had for kind of ping, but I would assume that it's in a similar region for them on US East. So.
Yeah, it looks like it's at about somewhere from actually 50 for their stand-in up to
yeah, on this server, but
so, yeah.
I mean on US East.
Yeah, we don't have the data on that.
Gotta check that in the next game. Should it come to that? So, but of course, if you're really concerned about the ping, you can just drop the lineup around that. Just pick something that is not as ping dependent, like heroes with skill shots, like a Mirana, like a Slark even. So more simpler or more straightforward heroes that you can execute a little bit easier, that can execute a little bit simpler, like a Brewmaster who can just blink, clap, and then pop his ultimate and then micromanage it a little bit.
Yeah.
Or Jakiro, who's just throwing out spells anyway. So
yeah, I just wanted to say that because the players were a little salty over it, and I can understand that, but at the same time, it's only fair. Like, if they've been playing with this disadvantage for months, then I'm sure you can do it too. Especially if you think you can beat them.
Yeah,
anyways.
I mean, of course, as a professional team, if it's a little bit, I mean, I can understand the position. I can understand them being salty about it, because it's not common, sadly, that we get server exchanges like that in the Americas, I believe. But it is fair, and it is. But the problem is that if you play in a tournament, there's a lot of money on the line. You kind of want to have every advantage that you can get. So you're gonna make any argument you can for just being in your comfort zone. And yeah, having a different ping, having a higher ping, can definitely throw you off, especially if you're not prepared for it. So we'll see how complexity can handle that. But being able to handle that and being able to, as I mentioned, draft a lineup around that and still be able to execute good, that's also a mark of a good team. So we'll see whether they can also bring that to the table right now.
Yeah.
You see them pick up the Shadow Shaman as well, not one of these heroes that is not necessarily ping dependent. Okay,
and they're gonna get ADR the Terrorblade, yeah.
Yeah. It's already a really scary lineup right now already. With the Ember Spirit, Skyrock Mage, that's a lot of magic damage. Bedrider for the initiation. Pugna, though, is gonna be a terror for Skyrock Mage to deal with, even the Ember Spirit. So, nice pick there from Complexity. I love seeing a Pugna in action. Of course, it's always a little bit dangerous because he's super squishy. If he faces Terrorblade early on, then he's just gonna melt. Right, if Terrorblade has Metamorphosis available, or if he gets struck by the Batrider, if he just gets silenced up by the Skyroth. So, can be a problem for him, but on the other hand, if you are the one that is able to move around freely in the team fights, then you can do a lot of things, and of course it's also another indication of the strategy that Complexity wants to go for. They want to get this game in the bag as soon as possible. With the Jakiro Liquid Fire, with the Shadow Shaman Ward, and the Pugna Nether Blast now, they have a scary amount of push between them.
Yeah. But, I mean, on the side of Pain Gaming, you've got a Terrorblade, you've got an Ember Spirit. I mean, Ember Spirit's not so much tower push, but definitely has the ability to push creep waves and punish a team that groups up a lot early on. So, I'm liking Pain Gaming's lineup. They do ban out the Venomancer as the 5th pick. Death Prophet also banned out, so they could pick up a Nature's Prophet if they really want to go heavy push. But I think something with a bit more tankiness might be better, or maybe something that's a bit of a counter pick against this team. Nyx Assassin comes to mind for sure against Skywrath and Ember.
Yeah, if they didn't have so many support heroes already, I would say even something like a Lion. Lion is really great against illusion-based heroes like the Terrorblades, and because you can hex one illusion, mana drain the other, and all of a sudden you're -2 illusions, and you're just half as good anymore. So, but I don't think that's what they want to do. I would definitely agree. Something more tanky should definitely be the case here, or something elusive, something that can deal with the Ember Spirit. Yeah, there's plenty of options depending on what complexity wants to go for here. Even a Puck for the Silence and Initiation can work well.
The pressure's on for Pain. They're actually going to pick up Billy's Enchantress, and this is a hero he plays very well. I'm assuming it's going to be Billy. Most of the time I've seen him play, it's Enchantress and Chin. But actually,
okay. Gonna see the Undying here, so
could be anybody.
Complexity definitely doesn't want to have this go late. They want to shut down the Terrorblade, or just close up the game until the Terrorblade can really do anything. Of course, Metamorphosis is a great spell, even at level 1, so gonna have to watch out for that. But if you can play around that, and yeah, let's be frank here, you definitely can. If you're a team from the caliber of Complexity, then yeah, you should be able to push down some early towers, and once Brewmaster's level 6, you'll be able to create a lot of space just by being there and being scary with his ultimate. And Undying with the Tombstone as well can be a big boon, and can just, I mean, either it wins your fights, or it just makes the enemy not want to engage you, which leaves you with a free tower with the Liquid Fire and the other pushing abilities here.
Yeah. Anyways, we will be moving into the game right now. Sorry about that, guys. Had to
You weren't even in the game, what the hell?
But I was fixing my overlay and everything. Yep. Anyways, we've got Complexity up against Pain. Complexity leads the series 1-0. This game is on the Brazilian server, which, I mean, we're saying it's fair. We don't make the calls, though. The admins do. We're just doing what we're told we're here to cast. I'm SP Revolution 5, joined by Dragondrop. And we'll start off with Pain Gaming with the pink Terrorblade, wielded by ADR with the ADR Kana. There, see what I did? Yeah, I know. Billy will be on your Enchantress. PP is going to be on your Skywrath Mage. He'll be standing in for them as well. King RD will be mid lane on the Ember Spirit. And up top, we have Grint XD on the Batrider. Dragondrop, if you'll take it away with Complexity.
Yeah, for Complexity, we've got Z-Freak here on the Jakiro on the bottom lane. He's pairing up with Limp on the Undying, and unless there's been a ping spike, he's sitting at about 350 ping, give or take, right now. Might have just been a spike, I'll check that every once in a while to keep you up to date. Swindlemount's gonna be here in mid lane, playing the Brewmaster, which leaves the top lane for Bloody Nine on the Shadow Shaman, together with Moon Meander on the Pugna.
Yeah, and one more thing, guys. Don't forget that we do have bets available for our next game on Dota2BestYOLO.com. That will be Void Boys up against Not Today, and it will be coming up right after this best of 3 finishes, so stay tuned for that, of course. Anyways.
Yeah, then bottom lane they're already posturing here. Limp just getting a couple of good DK stacks up, so that's just something that an Undying does, right? Skywrath Mage especially has to be careful, has to watch these stacks stacking up, in ADR as well. I mean, Terrorblade, not exactly having the highest health to begin with, and he's now down to 378 with just one charge of DK used.
And Skywrath has even more strength than he does, actually, naturally.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely thinking we'll see something like a drum come out for ADR very early on here. However, that's not for sure. I mean, I honestly like Pain's lineup a little better. The push strats, they don't work quite as well in 6.82 as they did in the previous patch, and I've got to favor a lineup that's going to be able to benefit off of those. An Ember Spirit to punish teams that group up, a Batrider to pick someone off and start a fight when your team isn't really that adept at fighting, it's more built to just push down towers, and then a Terrorblade just to counter push and provide a lot of presence in the late game as well. So,
Yeah.
nice draft here from Pain. Of course, Complexity, though, have a very strong one as well. There will be another stack of Decay coming out from Limp. And it looks to be a core Undying and a support Shakiro, I'm assuming here. Because actually, they will get rid of his Clarity right now. And Billy coming in here, he's got a net, but not going to need it at the moment.
So, yeah, I really like the way they're laying this. It's a little bit unconventional, but it can definitely work out Terrorblade now in Metamorphosis form. Still gotta be careful. I mean, as I mentioned, you gotta watch the strength stacks. I mean, it's really deceptive. I mean, having a full health bar, then you just die to 3 hits anyway, and then you realize, oh, I have like 300 health points, right? Now we're gonna see Limp getting wrapped around on here as well. Siegfried got a little bit of a pickle here with Enchantress rotating in. Nice heal coming out here. Siegfried still alive. Limp just dashing away. Does have a lot of strength stolen. That's the flip side of this. He's gonna get netted up though, and a lot of right clicks from the skeletons and everything else. First blood though is gonna go the way of Siegfried.
But Terrorblade does find a kill off of it as well, so...
Oh yeah.
It's a relatively even trade, considering that Terrorblade's getting the kill up against Shakira.
Yeah.
But, of course, Shakira's going to get a bit more gold off it. That'll secure him his boots. Terrorblade already sitting on boots, but quite a bit of farm already with 12 last hits up here at 3.5 minutes. Let's talk about the mid lane a bit, though. King RD...
Let's talk about bottom.
Oh, never mind, just...
Okay, no. Sorry. But it looked like they would go on him, but at least they shot a lot of damage here once again.
Yeah. Anyways, back on the mid lane, we've got Swindle sitting here. They are keeping up in terms of farm, so the Pain still allowing them to stay ahead there. And keep in mind, Pain was ahead in our previous game, so Moon Meander's Pugna could be looking to close this game out early. And I think that's what they feel like. Or initially they said, okay, we're going to forfeit game 2, and luckily we talked them out of it a little bit, because that would not be good for the viewers to not see a game 2 in a series. And I know you guys would be disappointed in that. And actually, Swindlemelons is going to get focused down a little bit here. The slow going to help him disengage from that. But you have King RD coming up on the high ground, trying to close the distance here. Has a searing chain available, but it won't be enough to get in range for that just yet.
Yeah, gotta be careful, Swindle here. If he gets a range for a searing chains together with the double damage, and Swindle not having a... Oh, wow. That was super lucky. How the hell was that?
It can happen.
In range?
It is random targeting. It's not the closest targets to him, so if you're not careful, you can get those searing chains off on the wrong targets, and that's one of the really finicky things about Ember Spirit.
Yeah. So Swindle now is level 6, so he shouldn't die anytime soon unless he gets burst down somehow.
Yeah.
So yeah, these kind of pushing lineups the Complexity is running, they do put a lot of pressure on them to execute. I mean, for a variety of reasons. On the one hand, you don't really have a hard carry on your team, so you have absolutely no way to deal with the Ember Spirit and the Terrorblade late.
Yeah, the closest thing you have is the Brewmaster. I mean, Pugna's farming like a carry, but the statistic that's always referenced with him is 30 minutes, win rate drops. I mean, we get that far in the game, and Pain have a really much better chance of winning, especially if there's a rack still up. The likelihood of there being a rack still up is kind of low, but they'll actually jump on the Skywrath right now. There's going to be a bit of a decay out on Terrorblade, but not enough to get a kill from it. Still just the 2 kills this early on in the game, so...
Yeah, I think Limb is just waiting for a chance to get the Tombstone out, and there we go.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a little bit of extra damage here, ADR, but so low here, and the zombies are still gonna spawn there.
Yeah.
Dick Charles will keep him alive for a little bit, and yeah,
Enchantress
rid of
trying to
zombie
heal up.
him.
It's gonna be a salve pops as well. The heal coming out, it might be enough for Billy to survive.
Siegfried finds ADR here, is finding the wrong one though.
So yeah, that Metamorphosis damage is coming out.
Alive.
But there is a Sunder available from ADR. If he could just find Limp here, he'd be able to get it. But actually, Undying will find the kill there. It's a 1-for-2 trade coming out to Complexity in the end there, and about 400 gold going their way. And make it a 1-for-3 trade as Swindlemelons comes in with a haste rune and finds Enchantress on the bot lane. Looks like they're going to pause the game. I'm assuming lag.
Definitely possible. I mean, as I said, Limb is sitting at about 350 ping. So if that spikes on top of that, then you're gonna have to pause. But he's still playing very well, so...
Yeah.
Just considering that example as an indication for the fact that you can still play well, that you can still make something happen if you have a high ping.
Yeah.
Definitely showing there. I mean, getting that, getting the good gas on the decay, that was enough to bring down Terrorblade down. And
actually, they'll find Shaman up top. They're going to find Moon Meander as well. 2 kills for King RD on the Ember Spirit. And this is going to get him off to a great start. He's sitting on 1,200 gold right now. I'm assuming he might pick up this drum, although it may be the drum for Terrorblade instead. That's definitely a possibility.
Oh, yeah, I like the drums built on, the pace drums built on Ember Spirit. Just gives him all he needs, really.
Yeah.
I mean, without it, he seems like just a little bit too squishy for his own good. And it's easy to overestimate your strength if you don't end up building that drums.
Yep. 1,500 gold up on the Brew, though. Working on his Blink Dagger, and about 700 for him, and he'll have it up. And that'll pretty much be the go signal for Complexity. Of course, Terrorblade continuing to farm up in the jungle here, actually, at the moment. But sitting on about 600 and treads and a Poor Man's Shield. Definitely think the Poor Man's Shield is worth getting, though, against the right-click damage that's going to eventually come out of Complexity, as well as the general stats he can get. It's going to help him jungle. And it looks like it will be a drum coming up for King RD.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. But now Complexity is starting to get into gear. Top tower.
It's going down, but Z-Freak, he will actually escape here, though. Z-Freak escaped a sliver of HP down bot. Metamorphosis actually committed to that as well, so, and a Thunder, it looks like, so. Nicely played by ADR, but not quite enough right now. It's 4-4, a tower going the way of Complexity. And this is the one problem for Pain. They have to be able to respond to this early, or Complexity's lineup could easily snowball out of control with these tower kills.
Question is, what do they have to defend now? They have RD just jumping in and creating chaos, but it can only be at one place at a time. I mean, you saw Z-Freak split pushing down bottom, and yeah, ADR and PPB already failed, or PPP already failed to kill him once, so that says something. I mean, even if he dies there, he's still putting on a lot of pressure on this tier 1 bottom. Just by being there and tying up resources, and it just leaves Badrider on top, who has to be very careful about going too close.
Yeah, he's got relatively high strength, but not quite enough to sustain too well. Limp takes a few hits, but he'll back up so Moon Meander can get another Nether Blast off on the tower. And now they've got a lot of sustain in this team as well. The Mana Drain being able to siphon that into an allied hero. Limp's Soul Rip as well, being able to help him heal allies in combat as well as damage enemies pretty well. It's an interesting build he's going for, but it's definitely a push-focused build. And now, with Brewmaster having this Blink, they're going to be able to create a lot of space for the team to push. And King RD actually going to get hexed up here. He is going to get away to a Remnant, though, it looks like. And Brewmaster, meanwhile, finally Skywrath on the bot lane. They'll take down yet another tower. And that's 2 towers down. Pain not looking to be in the best shape. About 1,500 gold lead for Complexity. About 1,500 XP for Pain, though. They will get the extra gold off these towers, but of course the towers do not provide any XP. So,
yep,
that is something.
So far it's working, though, for Complexity, I gotta say. I mean, Swindle with his level 6, he will be able to... Oh, and this Blink Dagger more than anything else, will be able to be that factor that... Oh, there we go, King RD looking for trouble here in top lane. Limb commits a Tombstone, and yeah, that forces King RD to zip out. So, easy Tombstone bait. It's a 60-second cooldown.
Yeah.
Gotta watch out for that.
He does have the Remnant to get back into, though, and he is sitting on phase drums at 10 minutes in. Decent farm up on him. He's sitting second place in terms of net worth, right behind the Brewmaster. And then Pugna just about 200 ahead of Terrorblade. Although, I will say, Terrorblade is going to do a lot more with items than a Pugna will. And Ish did mention just a few moments ago that Pugna had gotten himself a 13-minute Necrobook last week. And meanwhile, Bloody 9 going down to the Batrider. So, Pain keeping it even in terms of kills. They may have lost 2 outer towers, but they'll actually go off Z-Freak right now. And he's going to get his Ice Path off. But Terrorblade able to secure the kill there. And now Pain surging ahead a little bit right now.
Yeah, tier 1 mid is going to be the trade, so...
Overall, these seem like really good trades for Complexity, as actually Swindle comes on in here, gets a split off on Grint, and Billy trying to slow him down, trying to get a heal off as well. Doesn't look like he'll be able to just yet. Grint trying to survive. The Courier is coming out to ADR. They need to turn it around. The Courier, go home Courier, you're drunk. Never mind, the courier is somehow fine here. And meanwhile, the top tower goes down to the Radiant, and Moon Meander taking down a tier 2 bot. So an okay trade, but really not that great. 8 kills for Complexity now. And they're actually going after ADR, who's trying to get on the run here. He does have 2 TP scrolls, but there's a blink available from Brew as well. And he needs to TP pretty soon. I'm kind of surprised he didn't Sunder first. He'll get taken down by a clap. Ouch.
That hurts, man. That really hurts. Losing ADR there as well as the tower. As I said, I mean, King ID is getting trades. Bloody Nine's gonna die again. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of trades that you kind of want and have to take there. King ID...
He'll TP out, yep.
Like I have to say, this time around is gonna work in Pain's favor, but... Yeah, Complexity have a very narrow timing window, and if they continue to execute it the way they are right now, then they will hit the timing window, break the base before Ember Spirit can really become too much of a problem for Swindle and his teammates to deal with.
Yeah. We've got Z-Freak getting caught out right here, and the Enchantress throwing out the impetus to help bring him down. Batrider securing the kill there. That'll be his Blink Dagger done. And 13-minute Blink Dagger is not that bad, but consider the lack of space and the lack of map control Pain's going to have here. All they really need to do to combat this is to say, okay, our racks are still up, let's keep our racks up, let's keep defending racks, and we'll be fine. If they can hold the racks till about 30-35 minutes, they should be okay, honestly. They've got much better late game. But Complexity, singing the Bloodseeker song, in the late game, there won't be one.
Okay.
Hopefully. You know the Sir Action Slacks, no? Okay, I tried.
Also, Action Slacks, I don't know with that particular endeavor. But yeah, I mean, this Potato's gonna try to defend, but... Oh, Tomato, in fact. Okay, maybe I can just walk up. There we go.
He dodges it. He's got 5 stacks of sticky napalm, though. One more hit from the Batrider will do the job and bring him down. That's 400 gold going over to Batrider, and actually not quite enough to bring him down just yet. It'll be the Shadow Shaman securing the kill there, but they do find Pugna on the mid lane. They're splitting this team up a bit. There's already a Necronomicon up on... Wait, what? Oh no, there was a Necronomicon on the enemy team. Enchantress converted it. I was like... I was very confused for a moment there.
Already Necrobook up on an Enchantress. That's a really standard build here.
Yeah, of course.
Pretty good timing as well for jungle Enchantress at 40 minutes. No, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, she should have a lot more farm than this, but she has been committing to a lot of kills and a lot of ganking going on in the lane. Ember, though, on a killing spree, as he will find Z-Freak here. Pain continuing to tie it up and keep it even in terms of kills and stay in the game in terms of net worth. But again, they're going to get more out of their gold than Complexity because of the way their lineup is going to work. If they can hold on to their racks, they will outcarry them. I almost have no doubt.
Yeah.
And getting bursted down by the Skywrath and the Batrider there. And this is the other problem, like, oh, we have a Pugna against Skywrath, that's cute and all, but he's still squishy as can be. As long as Skywrath pays attention to if he has a Nether Ward debuff and doesn't cast his ult when he does, he should be just fine.
Yeah. Complexity definitely have to be really, really careful right now. I mean, they keep getting caught out alone without getting any sort of trades on the map. And it's getting progressively harder the further you go into the map. Because it's harder to keep the lanes pushed out always to the tier 2s. It's more dangerous because there's more angles for Pain to go in and grab a target or two with King RD or with a Blink Lasso or anything.
And oh, bloody 9.
That creep, man.
Now, you can't blame that one on lag, right? And actually, Swindle gonna come in. He gets the blink, the clap, and the split off. Dire's bottom tower goes down to the Terrorblade. And Enchantress is going to go down to the Dire team, as well as a mid tower, it looks like. Batrider, though, does get a blink away there, as he was coming down from the Brewmaster Panda Storm. But now, the racks are being pressured here from Complexity, and they need to do something about this. The team will begin to retreat. Enchantress still not respawned. Yeah, no glyph available for a few more seconds. They've got 6 seconds, but the tower may very well be down by then, and it will. Pugna securing that with the Nether Blast, and now they're going to go after the racks. Meanwhile, there is a Hex in here on someone. I'm going to try to zoom out a bit. As King RD in the back lines, going to get taken down, and he has no buyback. It may be the end here for the upper bracket run of Pain Gaming, as Complexity look to take game number 2 in stellar fashion right now. They do use the glyph to hold the racks. And ADR waiting for an opening on the side of the fight here. He only has 400 gold, but 1 rack's down, 16 minutes in. And I don't even think we could say still better than TI4 finals for this one at the moment. It could get that good though, so.
And yeah, Skyrov just killed himself on another ward to top that off with. So that was the kind of opening that Complexity was waiting for. I mean, they went in, they got who'd they get first? Enchantress, and then they
Enchantress.
They chased Batrider away, so that he couldn't fight right away, and then they just smelled it opening. And even getting King RD in the back there was what really sealed the deal for Stop Racks here. Him not having buyback, the glyph not really being up in time. Then the wall's already down. It's really hard for Pain to fight into this because you gotta remember, 7 minutes in.
They might get blinked in and then instantly wrecked by Complexity. They do commit an Ice Path and a Life Drain there. The other thing though for Complexity, other than Shaman Wards and a Brewmaster Split, they don't have huge cooldowns.
Those walls are gonna be off cooldown in 15 seconds again, so they can just take down this tier 2 top quite easily without that, and then push down top racks.
I mean, Pain are 2 towers and a racks behind, and that is definitely not good. Let's just go ahead and be honest here.
Yeah.
The Manta is out for King RD, or for ADR, and I think he'll definitely be able to take this bot tower. The question is, can he get back to base in time to make a difference here? There's an Invis rune ready on King RD. They'll TP in here, but we've already got our sights set from Complexity on the top tower, and they have the Serpent Wards available if they want to use them. And I don't see any reason why not. The Nether Ward does go down, meaning Skywrath basically can't engage on this at the moment. And they are going to blink the Batrider in there. They'll grab Limp. Nether or Serpent Ward's going down. A Mystic Flare off the mark for Skywrath Mage. They'll bring down the Undying, but the tower is not undying. Instead, it is dying, if you will. And they're ready to jump in there with the Ember Spirit Remnant if they need to. Brewmaster now with an Ag Scepter up from all of this whopping amounts of tower gold. And Complexity, they're just going to disengage. They didn't get the racks off of this, but they did do some considerable damage to the melee barracks as well as take down that top tower. ADR looking to hopefully be able to split push his heart out here, as they did make a trade for a tier 2 bot. And while Pain is going to profit a little more off these trades, if they're actually trading for a racks, they're basically trading away potential farm.
Yeah.
Because these creeps are worth nothing now, basically. They can still turn it around, though. It's not completely over, of course.
Yeah. If they manage to keep the lanes pushed out somehow with ADR, just... I mean, the thing is, ADR can't really split push all alone, because if he's careful, he's gonna get gone on and easily burst it down at this point still. So, you kind of have to do the best to keep the lanes pushed out, keep Complexity away from the base at all costs, because then, only then, they can really defend them. Because if Complexity gets on top of these racks, 2 Nether Blasts, and maybe a Liquid Fire, and a couple of shots from the Serpent Walls, that's going to be enough to bring down a ranged rack at least. And, yeah, without a glyph especially, right? If they get to their top racks again, exposed as it is being right now, they will drop down a Serpent Ward, they will drop down a Nether Ward from Pugna, they will drop down a Tombstone, then they can just take all the time in the world to bring down the racks, retreat, and repeat that once again in the bottom lane.
Yeah. There's some lines being drawn out on the map from Skywrath, it looks like, and actually the Courier returning from the Secret Shop with Embers completed. Battle Fury part.
He does have a Brewmaster.
He Swindle's in biz. He's gonna get the clap. The split off as well. He'll stun up the Batrider and proceed to start taking him down. Ember now with the Battle Fury up. There is a heal coming off from Billy. And it looks like Billy will be going down pretty quickly here. Ember trying to get away. He does have a Remnant available now, as well as the mana to do so. There'll be a blink in from the Batrider. A ward trap on him as well. As Swindle, he comes back to himself here. And actually, a big hit from the Ember there. Doing some serious work with that Battle Fury, and this is what I'm talking about. These heroes, when they get clumped up, are going to be a serious issue. ADR, he's got very, medium life. He'll Sunder Moon Meander, but it's not going to be enough. And does he have a buyback? He does not. The first Rax falls, and it looks like the second is going to go down with it. And Pain in a really bad situation now that they're 2 Rax down 20 minutes in.
Yep.
I mean...
That's it. They're going to go for bot Rax now. PvP, Skywrath Mage can't really do anything about this.
This is where Pain has to make something happen. If they can't make anything happen here, they're going to be pretty doomed.
I mean, they do still have the Ember Spirit up and around, but he doesn't have too much mana to play with, especially up against another ward.
And he needs to be down here in the fight.
Yeah. Those are actually gonna go down. There's no ADR, there's no bad runner to initiate for them.
And there might as well not be a
seconds out, but
QRD.
yeah.
Bloody Niner
They'll
did
load
slow
mega
up.
creeps because that's what you're gonna get right now and possibly the game.
Goodbye, my rares. That's mega creeps. And GG.
Hey, who said you could win on Brazilian servers?
Yeah.
Complexity sure did sound like that for them. You have the auto pause coming out.
Yeah. And honestly, not a very exciting game here. Good server, I mean...
Yeah, the excitement came from the... Alright, this auto pause. They should be just GG. And then just let the ancients... Anyway,
I want to just say one thing here. I find it a little odd that Swindlemelds is saying great manners too, when in the lobby, the manners weren't exactly there from Complexity. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. And I think Pain GG'd, and then they left. That's all they can do, really. I mean, they could have let it run out, but I think they were a little perturbed at the attitude in the lobby.
Well, they might have mistyped, because usually when you call GG, there's a 10-second cooldown, or 10-second timer that then lets the Ancient explode. But they didn't properly type GG, just like the Z-Play do now. So
there was a bracket in front of it or something,
yeah. Regardless, Complexity wins, and yeah, the excitement from this game didn't come so much from it being very close, but always from this tension in the air of whether Complexity will be able to execute this lineup in this patch, because yeah, it's, as you mentioned earlier, it's not as easy as it was in 6.81 when it was basically all you saw, but it's definitely still possible to do this.
Yeah, and rip my rares, of course, but hey, that's the risk of betting. I mean, hey, whatever, I'm fine with it. It happens. And I mean, Pain, they really just didn't play well that last game. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, they didn't see the push strat coming in the draft, I feel, until it was way too late. And at that point, there was not much they could do. So congrats to Complexity, of course, there.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to say. Just,
sorry that it wasn't an exciting game, guys, but...
We're gonna see more games, right? There's plenty more games to come here over the next couple of days, and today as well. Not gonna be with me, as I have to head to bed, as it is almost 1 AM once again here. But I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully.
Yep. Of course, Dragon Drop, you can find him at Dragondropdota on Twitch. Our Statsman Initiator, you can find on Twitter at Initiator. That's a 0, not a letter O, of course. But, hey, good game. Of course, I'm SP Revolution 5. Thank you guys for watching. Our next series starts in an hour and a half. I'm not sure if we'll leave the stream up or not. So, yeah. Anyways, big thanks to you guys for coming out. Hopefully we'll see you guys in an hour and a half for Pain up against Void Boys, which should be a great game as well. Or, not Pain against Void Boys, excuse me, not today, up against Void Boys. And we will see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Bye.